Idaho, this time from the Lost River Range, still in Idaho.
Yeah.
And we're having some fun. We're hoping to explore quite a bit in the area. We are here 4 nights, so we have 3 full days of exploring. Now, that said, we have arrived here about 2 weeks, maybe just a little bit longer, or a little bit early.
Yeah.
And the reason we say that is, just like in our last video when we were in the Sawtooth Mountains, there's still a lot of water that's flowing downstream, and then all of the hikes in the area, or at least most of the like really epic hikes that are in the area, they all go up with pretty significant elevation, up to 12,000 feet.
Here, yes.
Which means snow. If you recall in that last video, if you watched it, we hit quite a bit of snow at 8,500 feet and then sort of made an out. We still haven't gotten any more gear, so that creates a ceiling for us here. So the thing is, what else do we get into here? And I think there's quite a few options. We've done quite a bit of research, and I think we got a full video for you. Let's get it going.
With snow changing our plans, Copper Basin stood out as the place most likely to give us a full day outside. It offered several trail options and a chance to explore a quieter side of the Lost River area without immediately fighting the deepest snow.
Get me on camera being stuck with my backpack.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
You see this? This is what I deal with. You're still stuck. You're still stuck. You're still stuck. Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh.
You guys ready to go hiking?
Let's go.
You ready, Abby? Let's go do this.
Let's go.
Lake Creek Loop made sense for the kind of day we were hoping to have. The route promised a mix of open basin views, forested trail, and alpine lakes, while keeping us lower than some of the bigger hikes that still looked questionable for the season.
Good girl.
Copper Basin's history is tied to the copper mining boom around McKay in the early 1900s. Passing this old 1920s mining cabin was a quick reminder that this quiet basin was once more than just a place to recreate. Like many routes in this area, this loop is a multi-use trail. It is part of a backcountry network where hikers, riders, and motorized users all share access to these remote places.
Tell us how you feel. Somebody got in the tree, sad. Follow Mom.
Long Lake gave this hike the kind of payoff we were hoping for, with quiet water, big mountain views, and just enough snow to make the whole place feel like we had arrived between seasons. It still felt peaceful and beautiful, but also a little wilder than the easier version of this trail we had probably pictured in our heads. Of course, just enough snow did not last forever. As we headed back down, the trail turned into a guessing game of which step would hold, which step would sink, and which one would become the next unplanned comedy moment. The scenery was still amazing, but the hike was quickly becoming a lot more work than we expected. By the time we made it back, the snow had definitely won a few rounds. Some of the hardest post-holing did not make it on camera because we were too busy getting through it, but the lakes and mountain views still made the effort feel worth it.
gonna lie, the snow wore us out a bit. That hike was advertised in All Trails at 11.8 miles. We ended up with just under 14, as you saw, 13 and some change. I don't recall here as I speak to you, but that, along with the little bit of altitude, but the snow was just really slow going with a lot of slow steps that it really tuckered us out. So when we got back to the car, we honestly, I just put the cameras away. We enjoyed the drive back, and chilled when we got back to camp. Now, speaking of that drive back and one thing interesting here is you very quickly leave pavement. You get on dirt roads, and it can be the long way around the barn, so to speak, to get to where you want to go. As a crow flies from where we stand, it's like it's less than 20 miles right over the mountain is where the hiking trail was. But Google said that it was going to take us 2 hours. Again, a Jerry Clarkson reference, but I did it in about an hour and a half because don't let those dirt and gravel roads scare you, provided you pick the right ones. Pick yourself up an MVUM map, and those were some of the best gravel and dirt roads as far as maintenance that we have ever experienced. It was exceptionally comfortable going at the speed limit. As far as today, well, it's supposed to be cloudy, and there's even a chance for rain, so we have a little bit of a different plan. We are reluctantly going to leave Abby here at camp, and that's because she can use actually she's a little tuckered too, because if it's 14 miles for her, she's
for us it's going to be more.
It's quite a bit more. Anyway, I digress. We are headed over to
Craters of the Moon National Monument.
Yeah, and that's why we're leaving Abby behind. The National Monument is not, I don't want to say they're not dog friendly, but in practice there just isn't very doggone much that you can do with a doggo. So we're headed over there. Let's check it out.
Most visitors experience Craters of the Moon from the 7-mile loop road, where short trails, overlooks, caves, and volcanic features are clustered together. But the full National Monument and Preserve is much larger, protecting hundreds of thousands of acres of lava flows, cinder cones, sagebrush, and backcountry volcanic landscape. North Crater Trail is one of the more strenuous developed trails here, climbing through loose cinders and broken volcanic rock. There are longer backcountry routes in the Monument and Preserve, but this one gives visitors a rougher, closer look without leaving the main developed area. We chose this day to visit because the forecast called for wind and storms, which made a shorter drive-and-stop kind of visit feel like the better option. The looming clouds gave the lava fields a dramatic look, but the wind made sure the exposed trails still came with a little extra challenge. Even though the lava fields can look harsh and almost lifeless at first, spring tells a different story. Wildflowers were blooming right out of the cinders, adding bright color to a landscape shaped by lava, wind, and very little moisture. That contrast and this hike were our favorite surprises here. With a name like Devil's Orchard Nature Trail, we expected something a little more unique. Instead, it felt like a short walk through another lava field, and only a few of the interpretive signs seemed focused on nature. For us, it was a disappointing stop. Cave access requires a free permit picked up in person at the visitor center. Of the 5 caves in this area, 3 are permanently closed to protect bats and sensitive environmental conditions. Since Indian Tunnel sits the farthest out along the caves trail, it made sense to start there. Its collapsed ceiling lets in natural light, but uneven lava rock and a few scrambly spots still made the route feel more rugged than easy. To return, we followed the marked path across the lava field. We planned to check out Dewdrop Cave too, but with time running short and the entrance crowded, we decided not to go any further and called it enough for the day.
Well, it seems we might, no, we have developed a horrible habit of when we're done with the last activity of our day, we pack it all away, including our minds, and we just sort of crash and we didn't update. That said, I'm sure Alana has done a wonderful job of the voiceover and has more than covered sufficiently Craters of the Moon National Monument.
Yes.
So today, you've already seen some footage coming in here. What an absolutely beautiful drive. I have just told you right now what trail we are going to take off on here, and we are looking forward to making our way up the lake.
Bear Creek Lake Trail did not bother with much of a warm-up. The climb started as soon as we left Dusty, first along the UTV section, then continuing as the route narrowed down to foot traffic only. On paper, the mileage did not sound too bad, but our legs had a different opinion pretty quickly. Curious why this is called the Lost River Wilderness? If you are a regular watcher, you may remember that back in our Thousand Springs video, we mentioned some of that spring water starts its journey here. In the Big Lost River Basin, water can disappear into sinks, travel underground through aquifers, and many years later flow out at Thousand Springs. Bear Lake was worth the climb. A green mountain lake surrounded by steep mountains that rise thousands of feet. The setting was beautiful, but the wind and bugs made it less of a peaceful lakeside lounge and more of a look around, quick snack and keep moving kind of stop. All of our hiking in this area has been within the Salmon Chalice National Forest, which covers more than 4.3 million acres across east central Idaho. The view looking down the ravine we just climbed was only a small sliver of that forest, but it may have been the best surprise from this hike. Trailhead directions can get tricky out here. Gravel farm roads and side roads often look the same, but one may keep you on public access while another points you towards someone's field.
As lovely as that hike was, we're not quite done. We've now made our way over to Lower Cedar Creek Trailhead.
Yep.
Let's go check out some waterfalls.
Lower Cedar Creek Trail is only about 1.5 miles, but it has more history than the distance suggests. The route follows the creek past an old dam site and wooden flumes, pieces of a small hydroelectric system that once helped power McKay in the early 1900s. Near the end, the trail becomes much steeper and rockier, with loose footing that made the final climb feel a little sketchier than expected. The payoff is a place known as the Hole in the Rock, where a spring gushes directly out of the mountain wall instead of dropping from above like a typical waterfall.
Well, we didn't wrap up yesterday, but that was a bit by design this time. When we got back, it was just really, really windy here at camp, and we sort of hung out inside. But also, today's a travel day, so we needed to get a lot of things sort of wrapped up. Now, one thing we haven't mentioned is we have been staying at Joe T. Fellini Recreation Site, campsite, just outside of McKay, Idaho, and it has been splendid. You've sort of seen some of the views. Let me show you around a little bit more. So this is off. This is essentially our backyard here. View over the reservoir and sort of the mountains off there in the distance. And if that wasn't good enough, I'll come out this way and then turn around. Here's the front yard view. So as we've stayed, the mountains have lost a little bit of snow, but it's been absolutely beautiful. And if you recall, tumbleweed has sorry for all of the spinning, has that window right there, and it has just been amazing to look back at those mountains. Now, as far as facilities go, it's pit latrine toilets, but they have been very clean, very well maintained, and there's 50 amp, 30 amp, 20 amp electrical service, as well as water, which we have found to be really pretty good water. Pretty decent pressure, a little low on the flow, but very, very manageable. So, with all that said, yesterday and yesterday's hike, hey, here she comes to join us. Yesterday's activities, it was fun. I think I enjoyed the first hike maybe just a little bit more, actually a lot bit more than the second. Other than when we finally got to the falls,
yeah,
it was a really cool end destination. Yes. So no real complaints there. We're just up to the lake was a far superior hike.
Yeah.
And I put up in the screen what the distances were. I don't recall. It wasn't the distances that was really the killer or what would make it difficult. No. It was the elevation. Yes. Even the shorter hike up to the falls, it all happens really pretty quickly. And at the end, and at a little bit of elevation. The first hike had a lot more start and ending, and hopefully I've already provided you all that information. So, Lana, you knew I told you I had a question for you.
Yeah.
I would like you to tell the people your favorite thing and your least favorite thing of what we did here, and we'll call it as 4 things.
Okay.
The big hike on our first full day.
Creek.
Then we went out to Craters of the Moon, and then we'll split the 2 yesterday.
Yes,
so 4 things.
Hikes. Yeah.
What was your least or your most favorite?
Oh, I was gonna start with the least favorite, but sure. Okay, for most favorite. Most favorite was actually Lake Creek Trail, the first one.
Yeah, me too. It was a good distance. It was a full day, and also while it might have looked a little horrible, the snow at the end was just hilarious to us. Post holing, watching Abby slide around, like the whole thing was just a really
it was safe, but yeah, hilarious.
It was safe, but yeah, we were falling a lot, and there was just a lot of moments that made it something special. Yep. Okay, the tough one, least favorite.
Mine is Craters of the Moon. Sorry.
Okay, so Craters of the Moon. Yes. Let me ask this follow-up.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of low on my list from this location as well. Would it be that your least favorite if you hadn't gone to lava beds?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, that's the difference to me. If I separated the fact that I've experienced lava beds, then it moves up a little bit. The very last hike we did to the falls, I was my least favorite. And not that it wasn't splendid, but there was just a lot. Yeah. I had to really be engaged a lot. The hike was very narrow. There's not a lot of places to pass people. It's sort of loose footing. Yeah. And while the end goal was nice, the juice wasn't worth the whole squeeze. The road in was really bumpy. It was fine. I'm not complaining. And for me, anyway, I don't want to speak for you. That's not to say they're not great things. I'm just comparing them against the other things that we did here. This has
individually, they were okay.
Yeah, this is still better than your average Ohio hike for us, for sure, sure. So anyway, there you go. I already mentioned it's a road day. It's time for us to move on. We're not done with Idaho, but we do have to start picking things up. I'm down to one last vacation day. Yes. And then I have to start being responsible again. Hopefully we'll see you at that next stop. Thanks for following along. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Game over.